Dancing with the Stars began on a somber note last night. The host began by saying their hearts are with the bombing victims and their families. They said the entire cast is thinking about them, and they hope that the show could provide an entertaining reprieve. Then the dancing began, and our own Kelly Swoop was there following the progress of Team Baltimore.
I'm Kelly Swoop in Los Angeles. Week 5 kicked off with another spectacular night of dancing. 3 pros, 1 celeb. And Jacoby Jones, he did pretty well. Jacoby and Karina did the jive Monday night along with pros Max and Anna. For 15 seconds, Jacoby had to be in sync with the pros for this side-by-side challenge. It was 2 minutes total. Jacoby said it was the longest 2 minutes of his life. Jacoby brought his New Orleans flair, even added splits and jumping over Karina's head. Judges said the footwork needs a little work, but still gave him a 26, the highest score of the season. But both Jacoby and Karina admit the competition is narrowing.
Yeah, it's getting tight, getting real tight. But, you got to step up because it's showtime. You see they got the 10s coming out, heavy 9s, so either you swinging or you ducking.
What do you think?
I agree. It's a long marathon. We halfway through, and this week we went up by 2 points from last week. The last 2 weeks we were actually all 3-8, so we had the same score. But now we went up to 2-9, so I think we're doing good. We're doing really good.
The judges have spoken. Now it's up to you, the fans. You have until 11 a.m. to vote for your favorite couple. Because the bottom line is, today's elimination night, and somebody has to go home. In Los Angeles, Kelly Swoop, ABC2 News.
All right, Kelly's going to be in L.A. tonight for the results show and the elimination. You can follow her at Swoop from ABC2 for the latest updates inside the ballroom. Also, you can stay up to date under the hashtag of Team Baltimore. Now, as is the case every Monday and Tuesday here on Good Morning Maryland, Nikolai Pilipenchuk of the Atlantic Ballroom in Towson is here breaking down the night that was alongside Lynette Charles. She's our local expert for Good Morning Maryland. But before we get to the performance itself, Nikolai, when these performers have to keep in mind what's going on in the world outside, as it happened yesterday with Boston, how do they remain focused to perform and do their jobs, essentially?
Oh, yeah, it's tough to kind of lay everything aside, lay all your problems aside. But, however, really when you get out on the floor, from my personal experience, I find that you forget everything else as just you, the music, and whatever dance you're doing.
Yeah, and, a lot of the night was about Jacoby and his whole feet problem, and we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, me, I'm an amateur, you're the professional. I saw that his kicks and flicks, I actually thought that they were good, but you like the height on it, but Bruno said that they weren't. Did you agree with that?
Maybe they were a bit sloppy, but not to the point where they were bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say that was bad. I mean, he did a great job. Right,
and then Len has a problem. I kind of agree with Len. I never thought that I would agree with Len, but is he kind of pigeon-toed?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
So is that going to be a problem through the competition, do you think? Or can he correct it?
I think it is correctable.
Okay.
Len is just very particular in technique of footwork. So maybe it won't bother the other judges so much.
Watching the highlights once again, Jacoby Jones showing off the flair, the enthusiasm, the charisma.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to grab the crowd as much, if not more, than any of the other competitors. Do you see that?
For sure. No, obviously. He's got something about him. He's a showman. And there's nothing you can do to kind of make that happen in somebody. If you don't have it, then you don't have it, really. I think with playing football and just being an athlete, there's a lot of celebration you do, and you're always on the public eye. So you kind of know how to handle yourself, and it works for you.
Now with Zendaya, of course, she got the 10s last night.
Yes.
So I think it was 2 10s and 1 9.
Right.
It seems like she can't do anything wrong. What do you think about her, and does she have improvements to make or anything?
Of course she has improvements to make. I think everyone on the show has improvements to make. However, out of all the dancers, she's so always into whatever she's dancing. The mood, the character, she plays it really well. And this tango, it's amazing.
Does this make you forget that she's 16 years old? Because what we've heard every week in the reviews of this is she's so young. But you see here, as she's in costume, she's in character, as you just said, she doesn't look like a 16-year-old girl to me.
No, she doesn't. And she's doing things that, only kind of women are able to maybe understand or have lived through to then share on the floor.
All right, and again, the bottom 2, again, I think DL needs to go home.
It might be that time this week. Who knows?
We'll see. Yeah, it was bad.
All right, Nikolai, thank you so much for your time. Once again, you can check him out at Atlantic Ballroom at Towson. Lynette? She'll be back in just a few moments as will Good Morning Maryland. Stay with us.